Continuing the same topic further, we will draw the dependency graph for finding the non-reachable symbol. And we have listed S gives A means S is dependent on A for the this production. Then we are having the production A gives SP, but it is not a dependency part. But we will take another, that is the BCC, means again for this production BCC A is dependent on C. So it is nothing but C, that is A gives B C C. Again, for example, A gives A C C. Now C gives A. For this we can show like for this production S is again dependent on A is dependent on S. Okay, we will list out it like then. For this production we will write like A is dependent on C, means we will write A is dependent on C for the production. A gives AC. Now, we have completed the dependency graph drawing successfully. But how we can conclude from this? That is nothing but S is dependent on A is dependent on C, but C is not dependent on E is dependent on C. Means from starting mechanism, A is not having any linking dependency mechanism. So here E is non-reachable symbol and we have to discard it from our grammar. How to discard it from our grammar? Simply delete this part from our grammar and write it again. That is S gives A gives SP or BCC, C gives ABB, and this is our final grammar after removing the non-reachable symbol. Now see, this is the grammar for which we have to find which are the non-reachable symbols that we have to delete from our grammar. So first of all, we will draw a dependency graph for this. And let us start. S is a symbol which is giving S gives A, B, A or B, C. So here seeing that it is dependent on B and C also. So we will write like S gives B, again S gives BC having the dependency on C. Now again we will see for this production A is having AC, means A is dependent on C. So and again it is dependent on B, C, C and C gives A, and again B is dependent on C. For example, B gives B, C, C. For this production, we will take it like now. For this separately, D is dependent on E, and there is no any dependency for E further. Now we can conclude from this diagram that S is dependent on B, B is dependent on C, and directly A is also S is also dependent on C. So these three are reachable from each other. But comparing this part, A is dependent on B and A is dependent on C, but there is no any direct linking from starting non-terminal present. So A is not reachable symbol from starting non-terminal. Now again see, D is dependent on E, but it is not having any connection from the starting non-terminal. So it is non-reachable symbol. Means these two symbols are also non-reachable. So we can write the grammar like which are the part of the grammar. This is the first. We have to discard it. So we will discard it from our grammar because it is non-reachable. Then we have to keep C, B also, but we have to delete this from our grammar. So this is the final solution for eliminating the non-reachable symbol from this grammar. Let us consider again this next grammar and we will try to write a dependency graph, that is S is dependent on A, that is S gives A. A. Again A is dependent on B by the production B, B. Again B is not dependent on any another further. But we will see here that C is dependent on B with the mechanism C is AB. But it is not a dependency from the starting non-terminal. S is dependent on A is dependent on B. Means three are dependent on each other. But B is only dependent on C, which is not having any direct connection from the starting terminal. So it is not reachable symbol. So we will directly remove it from our grammar, and after removing it is the final answer of our grammar. Consider this example. We will write a dependency graph, that is S is dependent on A by the production rule AB and S is dependent on B by the production rule S gives AB. This is for A and this is for B. Now, after clearly seeing this grammar, we can conclude like every symbol, there are three variables, that is S, A, B, and these three all are reachable from the starting non-terminal. So there is no any variable which is non-reachable. So every symbol is reachable, means the grammar final answer is same as of the given. In the next some videos, we will cover the next mechanism, that is elimination of epsilon productions. Thank you so much.